Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Speed Mentorship. My name is Matt McAlear, your host. So the purpose of this podcast is to take your leadership to the next level. I believe that when a leader gets better, everybody wins. I believe leadership is so incredibly important. And so the format of this podcast is going to be, we're going to interview the top performers, people who are world class at what they do. We're going to ask them difficult and challenging questions so that we can learn from them, hopefully learn from some of the mistakes that they've made, and grow and get better through some of these phenomenal leaders. And we know your time is valuable, so we're going to keep each episode to roughly 15 to 30 minutes, and I want to make sure it's filled with action-packed, rich content that you can learn and grow from. If this content is something that you find value in, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so we can continue to deliver it to you. Now, today's first guest is one that's very near and dear to my heart. It is my father. It is where my leadership journey started, and I just have so much respect for this guy and what he's done. So I recorded this back in February of 2017. It was about 4 months before he passed away. And the reason I chose to open it up with this is because not only this is where my leadership journey started, but this guy has had such an incredible impact on the community and really the garage door industry as a whole. So there's a tremendous amount I've learned from him. Now, the video is only about 9 minutes, 8 to 9 minutes, but I think you're going to find that within those 8 to 9 minutes, there is some beautiful nuggets in there. And I think you're going to learn a lot from this. You're going to see somebody who's passionate about what he does. You're going to see somebody who really cared about the people that he worked with. And I think you're going to see how authentic he was as well. So with that, I hope that you find as much value with this video as I did.
All right. As a note, Dad is not super awake right now. It's about 8:23 in the morning, and here we go. Got some good questions going on here. All right, so first question: what is your major motivator in life?
I just like the intellectual challenge of something new to try to figure out. Try to improve things the way they are, from where they are.
Sure. Cool. Number 2, what is your legacy?
I don't know. My legacy, I hope, is it's a combination of a lot of things. It's my family, what they've learned from me. My legacy, I hope, is that of a caring person, of a person that overcame obstacles with grace, of a person that put others ahead of himself. That's a little altruistic, but I'm not sure if I'm always there, but that's something I would hope people understand about me.
Absolutely. I've got 10 questions. Okay, number 3, what are you most afraid of?
Sitting in an MRI machine, claustrophobic. I don't know what I'm most afraid of. I think there's always a fear of the unknown for everybody, and it's going through that you have to just gotta keep moving forward. I don't know what one thing. Can't say fear of dying. I don't know.
Sure. Okay. What are you most proud of?
I think I'm most proud of my family for the most part. Most proud of the legacy that I will leave when I do exit this earth.
Absolutely. What excites you? What wakes you up in the morning?
Well, I think if you get talking with me and you start talking about the business, you'll start seeing that I get excited and animated. Start talking about being a change agent and starting to say, well, this isn't the way we want things. We want to go this direction. You'll start to see me get pretty animated. So there's being able to change life, change circumstances, not only for myself, for other people, excites me.
Yeah. How do you balance work and personal life?
Depending on who you talk to, I don't know that I've done that. I think I look back, I've been involved intermittently with kids growing up. I tried to make every one of their concerts or whatever. I helped coach when they were young, and tried to be involved in their lives, and then I tried to be me. And so they learn there's all kinds of personalities and all kinds of ways of looking at life. So the work balance, I'm sure if you talk to my wife, it was skewed very highly towards work. And I'm hoping that part of my legacy is teaching my children that you're only here once, and you try to influence and help as many people as possible. So it's a hard one for me. Work-life balance is, I think it's this ethereal thing that's out there that we want to shoot for, but it's hard to attain, and there has to be a partnership with the other half of your life.
Mm-hmm. How do you define a successful business?
Well, I think a successful business is one that's growing. Because if you're doing things right, people want more of it, of the product or services you're providing. Successful business isn't just growing for growth's sake. It has a bottom line that you can use to invest back into the business itself. A successful business is also people that are engaged, has people that are engaged, just not doing what you ask them to do, but are doing things at their own initiative.
How do you educate yourself on a day-to-day basis, or monthly, weekly, whatever? What's the way that
I think a lot of different things. At different times in my life, I did a lot of reading when I was young, a lot of reading about books of leaders, about a lot of strategy, which I enjoyed. Went to college, have my bachelor and master's. I think there's an element of that that's important. In today's day and age, there's so much information available at your fingertips. You just have to take the time, open your mind, and learn. And I think a lot of people think if it's hard, they stop. That's precisely the moment where you keep going. And once you grasp something, guess what? You've learned it. So I'm doing it constantly by exposing myself to all sorts of demographics, people that I've not grown up with, youth. I like being around younger people. I like being around older people and learning from them. So there's lots of ways to put yourself out there. I've been involved in non-for-profit organizations, learned from people, quality people that were also involved in those organizations. There's just a myriad of ways. It's limited by your imagination.
What are the top 3 things a CEO should be doing?
A CEO's primary responsibility is leading the talented people around them towards a specific goal. Vision casting, that's something that's used a lot. Being able to provide the vision, where would we like to be and why would we like to be there? Providing the why is a big portion of it. I think being able then to, a CEO is sometimes they're into conflict resolution. Things aren't exactly aligned in the team, being able to say, no, this is the way it's going to be. And then I think the other one is just be a good communicator and be able to, I go back to the alignment's a big part. So I don't know what number 3 is off the top of my head. I can answer these more later, but
Yeah. No, good. Good. All right, 2 more. What do you believe has helped you to be successful?
a drive like no other. I've been fortunate to have an intellect and an ability to process things, but I've also honed that. I've also practiced those things. I think my parents have taught me, and my dad in particular have taught me how to say things. Now, I'm less diplomatic with my family, but more diplomatic. There's a lot of ways of presenting ideas and presenting direction, and how you do it's important.
And one last question. Any words of wisdom for the next generation?
Hard work. Dedicate yourself to a craft and continue to move forward and educate yourself and be humble. I don't care how much money you make, what title you have. So people lose that humility when they've seen success. And my contention is when you feel you've made it, that's your biggest vulnerability in life. So always stay hungry. Always move forward when you're ready to say, "Oh, stop! I gotta stop. This is ridiculous." And also just with that intellectual curiosity, continue to and get to know your people.
Well, hopefully you found value in today's episode. Once again, if you did, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Also, rate us and review us. I'd love to hear your feedback on other things that we can do, other questions I can ask during the interviews to continue to add value to your leadership. Thanks so much for being a part of our community, and look forward to you joining on the next one.